that if you're a person who is attempting to cheat in our elections or an illegal citizen attempting to illegally vote in our elections, we will find you.
Did you catch that with Lara Trump? Here's the Republican chair slowed down.
Attempting to cheat in our elections or an illegal citizen attempting to illegally vote.
Raw story. Stupid Lara Trump ridiculed by critics after threat against illegal citizens. Keith Olbermann. There's a lot of illegal stupid in the Lara Lee Trump and Eric Trump household. Kathy Coleman. Illegal citizen? I think Lara's dumber than a pile of dumb rocks. Bruno Amato. Almost every person found guilty of voter fraud, a microscopic total of total votes cast, have been Republicans. And Mr. Neuberger, when singing career doesn't work, dabble in fascism.
We're watching everything, we're filing lawsuits when necessary, and we're making sure we have people everywhere votes are being cast and counted to have eyes on everything.
And never mind eyeing everything. Just a few months ago, Lara Trump went even further.
Now have the ability at the RNC not just to have poll watchers, people standing in polling locations, but people who can physically handle the ballots. We want people all across this country.
Can we do this? I want to hear. This is really fascinating to me.
But people who can physically handle the ballots.
Physically handle the ballots. Republican activists doing that would be illegal. Lara Trump has been the butt of jokes and ridicule for years. It intensified this past March when she became chair of the Republican National Committee. Lara Trump has added to the disdain with her own social media postings. This one seemed to fall into the category of weird family values. Lara Trump is married to Eric Trump, who has long been accused of being the dumbest of the Trump children. Anyway, stupidity keeps hanging over the Trump family and over MAGA world. And just this past weekend, there was more evidence that Trump supporters on Fox News are also not the best and brightest. Democratic Vice Presidential candidate Tim Walz has jumped into the debate over IVF by noting his own family's reliance on fertility treatments. He and his wife had success with IUI, which is slightly different from IVF. Fox pundit Tomi Lahren weighed in with this.
I do think, though, that his pattern of telling little white lies or little fibs, it does reveal that maybe he does have an issue with being fully transparent, or maybe his truth is different than the actual truth.
The lone liberal on the show, Leslie Marshall, first addressed the technical fertility issue.
As somebody who's had both IUI and IVF, Howie, there is no IUI system. It's all an IVF system. They usually for people out there that will go, I just went right to IVF.
Then Marshall crushed Tomi Lahren over the larger point about truth-telling.
I try not to laugh out loud, and no offense because I love Tommy, when anybody on the right, with Donald Trump as their candidate, has any say about anybody else telling a white lie, a big lie, a little lie, a purple lie, whatever lie. Donald Trump tells a lot of lies. So if you're gonna do that, you know, on one side of the aisle, please turn inward and look at your own candidate.
We will get back to the lies and stupidity of Trump world in a moment. First, the television ratings and viewership levels for both party conventions are now official. The Democratic convention attracted a significantly larger viewing audience. That has prompted the anti-Trump Lincoln Project to amplify the news and try to get under Donald Trump's skin with this ad.
The numbers are in, Donald. Kamala Harris is a star, a real star. Her TV ratings bigger than yours by a lot. Her polls rising. Yours, limp. She's winning, Donald. She's better than you on TV, smarter, more charisma, a better speaker, more patriotic, more American, stronger. Even Fox News is hanging up on your crazy calls.
Mr. President, thank you so
very much, sir.
You've lost it, Donald, and you're about to lose everything.
Just hours after that ad, Trump even lost the argument his campaign was trying to make over the coming presidential debates. Over the weekend, the Trump campaign blasted ABC News, the next debate host, and pointed to a Sunday segment as evidence that the network cannot be fair and should not be trusted to moderate a debate. The panel on ABC's This Week had roasted Trump. Watch.
I mean, he clearly is flailing right now, and people have been telling him for weeks, focus on policy, focus on policy, focus on policy. He hasn't listened, and now he's really got a lot of ground to make up in these polls.
And you see it in his schedule, by the way. I mean, J-Mart, he's out there. I mean, he had been, let's face it, a lot of time in Mar-a-Lago, a lot of time in Bedford, a lot of golf.
Yeah. And a lot of time in court.
A lot of time for Trump in court and playing golf. Well, in the wake of that segment, the Trump campaign then ratcheted up their demands for the ABC presidential debate. The Trump campaign wants to keep the original agreement that had been reached with the Biden campaign that the microphones be shut off when the other candidate is speaking. The system worked well for Donald Trump in the June debate against President Biden, and Kamala Harris would, of course, be better at interrupting Trump. Relatedly, the Harris campaign wants to change the rules to the microphone so that they are kept on throughout the debate. Well, instead of backing up the strategy of his own campaign about keeping the microphones muted, watch Donald Trump's response when asked about all of this by a reporter.
Would you want the microphones muted in the debate whenever you're not speaking?
We agreed to the same rules. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I'd rather have it probably on, but the agreement was that it would be the same as it was last time. In that case, it was muted. I didn't like it the last time, but it worked out fine. They're trying to change it. The truth is they're trying to get out of it because she doesn't want to debate. She's not a good debater. She's not a smart person. She doesn't want to debate.
President Trump, how are you specifically preparing for the debate versus Harris?
I'm not, really. I'm not spending a lot of time on it. I think my whole life I've been preparing for a debate.
He's not preparing specifically for the debate, and he doesn't really care about the microphones. The rap against Donald Trump by Republican strategists is that Trump either doesn't listen to the messaging of his own campaign or ignores it. Most political analysts say such an approach in a tough campaign is stupid, but stupidity seems part and parcel of Donald Trump, and it even flows to his children and their spouses. They all seem literally clueless about the oxymorons and how dumb it all makes them sound. Illegal citizens, Lara Trump? Democrats have problems telling the truth, Tommy Lahren? What a crew. And the Trump crowd keeps proving that this election is not just between stability and instability, democracy and fascism, normalcy and weirdness. It's also between democratic enlightenment and MAGA Trump ignorance. By the way, even Fox News is fact-checking one of Donald Trump's latest lies.
Remember when Biden sent Kamala to Europe to stop the war in Ukraine, she met with Putin, and then 3 days later he attacked. How did she do? You think she did a good job? She met with Putin to tell him don't do it, and 3 days later he attacked. That's when the attack started.
Just as a quick clarification, we don't have confirmation that the vice president went to Russia to meet with Vladimir Putin. I know she went over to Europe right before the incursion when Russia invaded Ukraine, and it's a war that's still going on right now.
I've heard that said a lot. You don't have confirmation that that's true?
No, I don't know if the vice president ever met Vladimir Putin.
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from Rick Byth, who wrote, "Never forget Trump's Helsinki speech where he sided with Putin rather than his own intelligence." Indeed. I look forward to reading your comments about the Trump family lack of intelligence that is hanging over this campaign. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.